Good morning, and welcome to chapter or section 5-9, dividing fractions and mixed numbers, which I know that a lot of you have seen before, but we want to make sure that you remember how that you're supposed to do this. So a acronym that we're going to be looking at this section is keep, change, flip, which I hope that you have heard before. So you're going to keep the first thing, change the operation from division to multiplication, and then you'll flip the second number or fraction. Okay. So first thing that we're going to talk about is something called a reciprocal. So when we flip a fraction later in division, you are going to be actually changing that fraction or number into its reciprocal. And what a reciprocal means is that when you multiply a number or fraction by its reciprocal, the answer would end up being 1. Now, when we divide fractions later, our answer isn't going to necessarily be 1, all right? But the reciprocal will make sense in the next slide when we do some examples, okay? So when I use the word reciprocal later on, I'm just meaning flip the fraction, okay? So when finding the reciprocal, you flip the fraction to where the numerator is now the denominator and the denominator is now the numerator, okay? If it's a whole number, all you do is you take the whole number and make that the denominator, and the numerator becomes 1. So when looking at the examples, 1/6 we would flip. The 6 would become the numerator, the 1 becomes the denominator, and then that reduces down to 6. 3/5, same thing. 5 becomes the numerator, 3 becomes the denominator, so our reciprocal of 3/5 is 5/3. Now, if you were to multiply 3/5 and 5/3 together, you're going to get 1, because 5 times 3 on the numerator is going to become 15. The denominator is 5 times 3, which becomes 15. 15/15 is 1. Remember that anytime that you have the numerator and the denominator the same number, it becomes 1. Okay. Now, if you have 2 3/4 and need to find the reciprocal of 2 3/4, you have to turn it into an improper fraction. And so 2 3/4 becomes 11/4. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 is 11, 11/4. So the reciprocal of 11/4 is 4/11. Okay. So 2 3/4 you turn into an improper fraction, which becomes 11/4. The reciprocal of that is 4/11. The last one, 3, the number 3 turns into 1/3. The reciprocal of 3 is 1/3. All right. If you are confused by the whole numbers, think of 3. If you were to write 3 as the number as a fraction, it's 3/1. Remember, a whole number as a fraction is that number over 1. So what is the reciprocal of 3/1? Well, 1 becomes the numerator, 3 becomes the denominator, and so you get 1/3. All right, so here's dividing fractions. So as I said, when dividing fractions, use the acronym KCF, not KFC, all right, but KCF. So in order, keep, change, flip. So the example is 4/7 divided by 6. We're going to keep 4/7 as it is. We're going to change the division symbol to a multiplication symbol, and then you're going to flip the 6 to be 1/6, or we're going to reciprocate 6 to be 1/6. Okay, remember the reciprocal of 6 is 1/6. All right, so now the problem is no longer 4/7 divided by 6, but now the problem is 4/7 times 1/6. So then we multiply the numerators, 4 times 1, multiply the denominators, 7 times 6, so you get 4/42. All right, 4/42. Then we have to reduce. 2 goes into both of them, so 2/21 is our answer. All right. So let's look at the last couple of examples. Once again, 3/4 divided by 4/5. We're going to keep 3/4. We're going to change the division symbol to multiplication, and we're going to flip 4 over 5 to be 5 over 4. So now our problem is 3/4 times 5 over 4. So then what you're going to do is you'll multiply the numerators, 3 times 5, which gives you 15, 4 times 4 as the denominators, which gives you 16. So our answer is 15 over 16. Okay, 15 over 16 is our answer. In the last example, we have two mixed numbers that are that we're dividing. Okay, so we've got 2 1/2 divided by 1 2/3. So we're going to change both of those to improper fractions first. Okay, we're going to do both first. So you've got 2 1/2, which turns into 5 over 2, because 2 times 2 plus the numerator 1 gives you 5 over 2. 1 2/3, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5 over 3. So our problem is 5 1/2 divided by 5 over 3. Okay, so we're going to keep 5 1/2. We're going to change the division symbol to multiplication, and then we're going to flip 5 over 3 to be 3 over 5. And then we multiply the numerators, 5 times 3. Multiply the denominators, 2 times 5. So we get 15 over 10. All right, 10 goes into 15 one time, leaving us with the remainder of 5 over 10. 5 goes into 10 two times, so 1 1/2 is our answer. 1 1/2 is our answer. All right, so remember, keep, change, flip. And remember that when we're flipping, it's just making the fraction or number its reciprocal. So the denominator becomes the numerator, and the numerator becomes the denominator. Okay? All right, good luck on the problems for the rest of the chapter, and remember that you can always ask me questions.